Yo guys, welcome back, it is Ripe again. Today we got episode 7 of our r/EntitledParents series, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy this one. So sit back, relax, and listen to some crazy entitled parents. EM tries to steal my truck, but cannot drive stick. This one is a bit long, so a little bit of a backstory about my truck. I own a Ford 2001 Ranger. I grew up in that truck and it was my father's truck, and I have the best memories with him in it. It wasn't until I was 11 when he died that I wanted to keep it as my first car. Thanks to my mom, after putting in a new engine and teaching me how to drive a stick, I was able to own it when I turned 16. Thank you, Mom. This means everything to me as it reminds me of my father, and I plan on keeping it for as long as I can. The EM is the entitled Karen mom, the ES is the entitled kid, and me, well, that's me. This happened like yesterday. I was at a gas station close to my home getting gas and getting stuff for my mom. After getting my stuff and walking out of the station, I notice EM and ES standing by my truck examining it. Me, hey, can I help you? EM in a happy voice,
Oh, this is your truck?
me, yes. I hear ES and then ask,
Hey mom, can we get this truck?
which EM replied.
In a second.
She then turns to me with a smile on her face and said,
So, how much do you want for this one?
me, I'm sorry? EM,
This truck, how much does it cost?
me, I'm sorry, but it's not for sale.
Oh, come on. I promised my son that I would get him this car, and I'm sure you can just get another one.
Me, already starting to get annoyed. That is not my problem, and again, it is not for sale. I then pull out my keys and walk to the driver's side thinking it was over, but if this is on this subreddit, then we know it's not. The EM then yanked the key scout out of my hand, which made me say, what the hell? Oh, she did not like it.
How dare you use such language in front of my kid?
Me, give me my keys back. EM,
Oh, relax, you can just get another car.
she then handed my keys to her son, to which he went and got into my truck. However, he couldn't turn on the engine, and that is when I realized he doesn't know how to drive a stick. He kept saying, it won't turn on, or what is wrong with this thing? Then EM said,
Get out, let me try.
and me still being amazed at what I'm witnessing, let it happen. EM failing to turn it on.
Why won't this thing turn on?
She then turns to me and notices my grin and started yelling,
What is so funny? You think this is a game?
She then went on a yelling rage, saying how I'm shit, sexist, racist, because the engine wouldn't turn on for her. While she's doing this, I accidentally let out a laugh, which she didn't like. She got out and tried to slap me. Luckily, I dodged it and took the opportunity to grab my keys and hop into my truck and lock it, rolling down the windows just enough to say, have a nice day, ma'am. Quickly roll it back up, and I turn on the engine, to which I noticed the ES jaw drop and drove off as I see EM screaming and throw stuff. Best day ever. Even though this story kind of sounds ridiculous, but I could see how a thief would fail at stealing a car because he's only used to automatic cars. Also, I think that's more common in America, that people really don't know how to drive stick, because here in Europe, where I'm from, it's pretty much the norm to not drive an automatic car, and a lot of people really hate automatic cars because they think it's absolutely boring to drive that. I'm curious, did you start with an automatic car or did you learn how to drive a manual car? Because as I said, here in Europe, the automatic cars, they start to take over, but it's still not that common. Entitled family arrives late to a restaurant, demands Wi-Fi and insults my great-grandparent, and they end up paying 20 times the price of the menu. The EM stands for entitled mom, the EF is the entitled father, SK is the spoiled kid around 7 years old, and the GGP is the great-grandparent, as well as M for me. It was around 16 o'clock, therefore most of the customers had finished eating and were chatting over a cup of coffee or some liquor. My grandparents and great-grandparents were still eating as they waited until everyone was finished. Therefore, my brother and I were in charge of serving the tables just in case anyone wanted something else to drink. Suddenly, we hear a car outside and I can hear a woman loudly speaking in English, and as soon as they enter, this happens. EM:
We would like to have a table. X from the Y Hotel told us this was a great place to eat.
I'm sorry ma'am, but the kitchen is already closed as it's kinda late. EM:
Yes, it's late, but we got lost in these damn roads. Is it so difficult to put proper signals? Also, we have a little kid that is hungry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me check if I can do something for you. I then went inside and explained the situation to my grandma, who told me to attend them as everything was already prepared and it would be just heating the food. EM:
Well, are you going to give us a table or not? If the kitchen is closed, how is it that those people are eating?
Pointing at my grandpa's. At the moment I thought she was behaving like that because she was kinda hungry, and I wasn't really used to dealing with rude people, as the majority of tourists used to be really respectful. Well, those are the owners, so they can eat whenever they want. I said this while laughing a bit. Anyway, I have just asked them and you will be able to eat too, so please follow me to your table. So they follow me to the table and I explained to them that there's only one menu. They gave me a strange look, but they seemed okay with that. I served them the bread and I put a bottle of water on the table. They start devouring the bread, so my "they were a bit rude because they were hungry" theory seemed to be confirmed. As soon as I bring the starter, the EF demands to have the Wi-Fi password.
Hey, we have noticed there's a Wi-Fi network. What is the password?
Yes, there is one. However, the Wi-Fi is only for the staff personal use. We had a measured and really slow connection that had like 5 gigabytes of data, which my grandpa used for checking some newspapers and my brother and I used for sending WhatsApp to our friends. EF:
That's bullshit. We are paying customers and we deserve to have access to your Wi-Fi.
EM:
Yes, our little angel wants to watch some videos. We don't have any kind of internet access here.
Sorry, but as I have said, it's only for personal use.
That's not right. This would be unacceptable in America.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you that we are not in America right now. The EM tells something to the SK and then he starts running around the restaurant, stomping his feet and shouting. My great-grandparent comes to me and asks me what is happening. I explain the whole situation to him and he asks me to please translate what he's going to say. GG: Please lady, control your child or I will have to ask you three to leave. EM:
Don't you dare to tell me how to raise my child, you dinosaur.
EF:
Don't get too close to my child, you old creep.
By this point, everyone is of course looking with disbelief to these morons. I doubt for a second, but then translate all of this to GG, expecting a not really nice reaction. Instead of saying anything, he slowly turns around and asks two men who are sitting on a table to take the whole family out of his restaurant. I proceed to explain to the family that if they don't get out, those two men, who also happen to be two guardias civiles, like rural police forces, would be taking them out. They don't seem to believe that those two men were policemen and they refuse to leave until we served them. Finally, both men stood up, showed their plaques and asked them, in their best English, to leave. The EM, EF and SK finally stand up and leave. However, as they were leaving, the policemen realized that they had parked in front of our garage, blocking it, in a zone signaled as a no parking zone. So they decided to ask for their rental car papers while taking a couple of photos and giving them a €200 fine for blocking a private property garage. Okay, this ended up being far longer than I expected. On my behalf, I have to say that I have family in the US and that all Americans I've met in the USA are really nice people, so please don't take this as an American bashing post. I mean, as you might have noticed so far if you follow my videos, I'm not American as well. I'm from Europe, Germany to be exact. And yeah, we don't do that here either. We don't give away private Wi-Fi like that. But when I visited the US, that wasn't common either. Like, I've never seen anyone give private Wi-Fi away like candy. Also, I cannot really decide if this is a case of a douchebag family or just a cultural misunderstanding. But I mean, parking in front of the garage and blocking, obviously, private property is kind of a douchebag move. So I think I would settle for the former option. Also, this is, I guess if you're American, a classic case of being embarrassed even though someone else did something. And I think you should never be embarrassed about something like that because it's their fault and not yours. And you're probably a different person, so don't get upset or too mad about people like that. So guys, that was the last story for today. Unfortunately, at the moment, I'm kind of busy. That's why I cannot make longer episodes, because I'm about to take my final exam. And yeah, when I'm done with that, I will make longer videos again. And I hope you continue to support me. Please click that like button and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos.